Welcome to the Brotherly Advice Podcast, a safe space where we have honest conversations, share relatable stories, and give you practical advice and wisdom to help you navigate your real world. My guest today is a Ph.D. candidate in social policy. Her research interests include women, economic and labor force development, STEM education policy research, and child safety and protection. I'll get right into the conversation with my guest today. My guest for today is Ophelia Delali Akoto. I call her doctor. Welcome, Ophelia.
Thank you,
to the
Salma.
Brotherly Advice Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm excited to have you here because you are the first female to grace my platform, and I'm really, really appreciative of your presence.
That is such an honor. Honestly.
You. Thank you so much. So, Ophelia, I know you have a long portfolio, like you have a long list, and I cut it short, but then I'll let you go ahead and tell us a little more about yourself, about your background, where it all started and where it's going so far, what you're studying, your current research, and what influenced your decision to pursue a PhD?
That's a really big question.
Yes, a big one.
Yes.
Yes.
But first, I want to say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. So, hi, everyone. My name is Ophelia Delali A, and I'm currently a PhD candidate at Brandeis University's Heller School of Social Policy and Management. So currently, doing my research. I'm writing my dissertation research on STEM education for girls in Ghana. I just finished data collection and I am doing the writing for the dissertation now. But even before I get into the education aspect of my journey, I first want to talk a little bit about my background. So I was born and raised in Ghana, West Africa, in Kumasi to be precise. I'm American.
I actually schooled in Kumasi. I went to private college.
Oh, wow. I went to Yasan Kumasi.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful.
We have an alliance going on here.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so after senior high school, I moved to the U.S. specifically for education. And so I did my bachelor's at Henderson State University, where I earned my bachelor's in business administration, focusing on management and entrepreneurship. After that, I moved on to do my MBA. And then after that, I think during my MBA, I realized that not only was I interested in business, I was also interested in how business really affects the lives of people. So I wanted to do something along the lines of policy. And so because of that, I went to the University of Arkansas's Clinton School of Public Service, where I got my master's in public service. And after that, I guess more school, I decided to do a PhD just because really I fell in love with research whilst at the Clinton School. I remember we had so many opportunities to work on research, like real world research.
Right.
So I remember there was this project that we worked on in this town in Arkansas called Newport. And we collected data from women in Newport, Arkansas, just asking them about how their labor force really is in that town and why they are not engaged in the labor force. Because from the research that we had gathered, a lot of the women were not working. And so seeing how our research, our recommendations really translated into opportunities for these women, I think it just really ignited a passion in me. And so I decided to pursue a PhD after. And so that brings us to where we are now.
Yes.
So writing up my dissertation and trying to finish up this PhD and moving on with my life, I guess.
So how has the PhD journey been so far?
Hard. Quite honestly, I think that's the first word that comes to mind when I think about it. It's really hard. When I started, I was the youngest in my class. I started when I was 25. And I remember sometimes I'll go to class really confused about what was even going on in the class because the articles, I just couldn't conceptualize or even understand what was going on half of the time. And there were a lot of times that I cried on my way home. I think 2 days ago, I was telling Eben about, Eben is a friend of ours, about how one time in a class called Advanced Econometrics, I was sitting by the professor when he was teaching, and I couldn't grasp a thing. And right after,
the name alone sounds complex.
I know. I ran to the chapel on campus and I just cried because it was just so difficult for me to just understand. But another thing that I would say about this PhD journey, it's been hard, but I've grown a lot. I can look myself in the mirror and see that I was not the same person I was in 2022 because I have grown.
Right.
And there's a lot of resiliency when you're doing a PhD because no matter how hard it is, you have to push through and you have to finish it.
That is
So
that is great. That is great. And I'm happy to hear. So what would you say has been your biggest challenge and your biggest challenge one and then your most rewarding moments on this journey?
my biggest challenge has just been adjusting to all the pressure that comes with a PhD and trying to balance that pressure, not just in terms of academic, but in terms of family life, in terms of personal life, because there are so many things that you want to do. You want to go to conferences, you want to write all these papers, but then you also have a life, right? You want to talk to your family, you want to visit your family. So balancing all of that whilst producing good work has been my biggest challenge. And my most rewarding challenge is, I guess, the people that I've met on this journey, including you yourself, Solomon. I think I've learned a lot from the people that I've met along the journey, and their encouragement, their motivation has really pushed me this far. And so if I were to redo it, I'll definitely redo it just because of the people that I've met on this journey and how much they've impacted my life.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really nice. And I'm happy to hear my name featured in it. Yeah. But I want to know, it's common, right? A lot of people just end it at the bachelor's level or the master's level. I know you're talking about the fact that you love research and that also influenced your decision to pursue a PhD. Would you still say that was the only reason, or were there any contributing factors that influenced your decision to pursue a PhD?
I think the first for sure was the passion for the research. And also it will be very incomplete for me to end this interview without saying that I think my family also had a big part in it. My parents both have PhDs, and so they really influenced that journey.
That means you have no option. They will force it down your throat.
No, not really. Growing up, quite funny. Growing up, whenever I saw my parents working on research or something, I'll always tell them I will never get a PhD. You guys don't have a life. I used to tell them that all the time. And now I look at myself and I'm like, oh my God, I'm exactly what I told my parents I'll never be.
And how do they feel? How do they take it, knowing that you are also on the journey that they've been on now?
I think my mom is happy about it. I think my dad as well. They don't really talk about it a lot. They think that was my decision, and so I should do what I want. But
the mothers are always the ones that are very happy about it. My mom, honestly, and I always say, I never first off saw myself doing a master's degree because I thought I was okay. I just wanted to get my bachelor's and then start working and everything. My mom was always about, get a master's degree. The world is fast changing. Get a master's degree. I'm like, now I call it my appel. I'm like, my appel, I don't want to do that. It's gonna take a whole lot of my time and I don't have it. So when I decided to do it, I was like, Mom, you know what? I've decided to do a master's for you. I'm doing this master's just for you. My dad doesn't really talk about it. My dad is more like do what best works for you. But my mom is always like, you know what? Even after master's, try and do a PhD. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to do a PhD. I'm just doing this master's, and then that is it. So I know how mothers usually feel about, especially using my mom as an example. They really love it when their children or their kids are climbing up the ladder, academia ladder. So yeah, I can actually tell.
That is really beautiful. First of all, your mom has a beautiful name, Pearl. It's a beautiful name.
She's actually beautiful.
But it's nice. And also, I think that on the day that you graduate, wherever she will be so proud.
It will be such a pleasure to have her around, and let's see how things go. I think we have some few months to go.
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot can happen in a month, right?
Yes.
Right. So Ophelia, I want to know, right? What is that one thing that you know now, right? That you wish you had known earlier? We think maybe if you had known earlier, it would have shaped the way you move, the way you think. Anything that you wish you know now?
It's actually just a phrase. Actually, everything will be all right. I don't think. Looking back, there were moments that I worried a lot. I was so anxious about if I was going to pass my comprehensive exam, if I was going to make it through this course. But now looking back, everything worked out until I think that's the only thing that comes to mind, really. That everything, no matter what you're going through in life, it's not the end.
Right.
And if you persevere and if you continue on that trajectory and you really are passionate about the things that you want, at the end of the day, everything works out. Everything will be all right. And there's one thing that my mom always tells me. Sometimes I call her and I'm like, I'm really struggling with this. And my mom will say, do you think this will be a problem in the next 5 years? When I say no, she'll say, okay, then it's solvable.
Wow.
Like, it's something that we can deal
And
with.
that's practical too.
Yes.
Yeah, thinking about it,
Yeah.
you know, because at the end of the day, everything works out. Then, like you rightly said, if you put your mind to it, you believe you're on the right path, because obviously it's not going to be easy. If it's that easy, that means you're not right. You're not on the right track. That's what I believe. And every right track or every right path that you are on has a lot of challenges that you are supposed to encounter.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like the last time I was listening to something and it was like, when you're playing a video game, for those who play video games, when you are going towards a position, when people are coming towards you, that's when you know you're on the right place, you're on the right track going on, like you're on the right track. But then when you are going, you keep going and no one is coming for you to shoot or nothing, it's like, where am I?
Yeah.
So challenges are all part of there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, time, I had a conversation with Eben the last time and he was like, give time some time. Yeah. And I think about it, I was like, yeah, it's true. At the end of the day, time really tells and everything works out. So I'm happy to connect these things. And that's like, I mean, one thing I like about this interview is the fact that I also get to learn on the interview, just like beautiful people like you, intelligent people like you, I get to learn from them. So at the end of the day, what did you say again? Everything
is going to be okay.
And
everything works out.
Right. All right. So Ophelia, I want to know your honest opinion about this, right? There's a common perception where people think schooling is overrated. You don't really need to go to school. You don't need to spend so much time in school. I mean, the basics are fine. If you can read and write, that should be fine to carry you through. What is your honest opinion about that?
That's a difficult question. That's a difficult question.
Right.
I think that the idea that a degree alone can make you successful is what is overrated and not education. You know?
Right. I think education, is deeper than just a degree.
Exactly.
Right.
If you think a degree alone can make you successful, then maybe you are thinking about it backwards, right? But for me, the education is not overrated because I think about the skills that you can gain or learn in the classroom, right? I think about the connections that you make in the classroom. I think we live in such a globalized world that the people that you know, the people that you meet in certain journeys play a very key role in who you eventually become. Right? True. Because these connections can form into future jobs, into even future marriages, future relationships.
Right.
And so I think that I will not downplay the importance of education, the learning that you get in the classroom. I think that education forms a foundation for which you can build something. Like think about things like public speaking. I think it's because I am in school and it's because I get to have these presentations. That is why I've gained that skill of public speaking. However, though, I will not say that people cannot gain some of these skills without going to school. Like we live in a technological world now. You can learn everything you want to learn outside. But still, education, the learning, the foundations that you get, we cannot say that is overrated. That is like good and essential for one's progress.
Right. One thing I picked from what you said was the fact that it goes beyond what you learn in school, because the same people that you meet in school are the same people that you graduate out of school from. And then they get into different positions, different environments and different sectors. And then because of the connections that you have with them, it makes it so easy for you to relate with them. So I think that is also good. You look at it from that. If you look at it from that angle, then it's it's not just, it's not overrated as it is.
Yeah.
And it's very important.
Yeah. And I have another example of that actually. I have a friend who is done with his PhD. He's done bachelor's, master's, PhD, everything. And he now has to get a job. And he's like, no, Philly, I'm going to go get an MBA at Harvard. I'm like, why will you go get an MBA at Harvard? Because he's like, because I get to meet people who actually have a very good impact on my career trajectory. Because most of the people that graduate from those very prestigious Ivy League programs, they get to do really amazing things.
No, sorry to cut you. So I think your friends, what your friend is saying is the fact that he actually enjoys the people he connects with on the journey.
Exactly.
Right. And besides that, his career is such that he's not looking at being boxed in an office where I work from an office, but go out there, meet great people and change the world with great people.
Exactly.
And I think that is actually a really good thing to have. I really like that.
Yeah.
But then again, I think this also leads to my next question. Why do you think a lot of young people are leaning more towards technical, vocational skills rather than maybe going further in academia?
I think that it depends on your interest, right? It depends on what you are interested in. I'll give an example of this with my research. So when I was in Ghana, I went to the senior high schools and I was just interviewing them about their STEM experiences.
Right.
And then I went to some of the TVETs. There's like the technical vocational education schools. There's that like learn how to weld, how to build stuff, carpentry, home economics. I went there as well. And I remember this interview I had with this lady at a TVET school, the student at the TVET school. And I can never forget. She's like, here I get to not only study, I get to actually build with my hands. And that is what I enjoy doing, right? And so back to your question, I think that it really depends on people's interests.
Right.
So if you think that the traditional academic ladder is not what you are interested in, like you don't want to be a professor, you don't have to get a PhD.
Right.
You don't want to, it just depends on what you want to do.
Right.
But say I wanted to do welding and there is a school that I could go to get that training, I would rather do that, because that will, at the end of the day, help me in my career trajectory.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
I really like that. So what do you think, let me ask it this, let me say it this way. What do you think about people who say formal education as we have it, especially let me say back home, how we know it. What do you think of people who say the formal education that we have doesn't prepare students for the real world?
I think that this is the conundrum of our day because the world is changing. But I think the education system is not changing as fast as the world is changing. Right. So as I'm thinking through this question, the only thing that comes to mind is how we can bridge the gap between education and skill sets and careers, right? How can education systems become so that not only are students learning like foundations and theories, but they are also gaining that real world experience. And they are also, building these connections with industry experts so that at the end of the day, when I get an education or I get a degree, I'm not unemployed. The degree will prepare me, or whatever education I got will prepare me for a future career. And I don't have to really struggle to get that career, I think that's why a lot of people view formal education as,
and I think I agree with that because, most of the things that we learn in school, it's I'm sorry to say, but it's almost useless when you come out of school. You can't really use it in any industry. There are a lot of good things that we learn in school, but then again, there are still some things that I personally believe should be out of the education system to be replaced with the new thing, just to change. Because like you said, the world is fast moving, and I feel like the education system should also be fast moving as well to catch up. Because at the end of the day, you wouldn't still want to be learning stuff that you wouldn't need. And this is like time. You're wasting all the time in school just to come out to know that this is just a totally different world that I have no idea about.
Exactly.
And it's sad.
Exactly.
It's sad. Oh boy.
And if like someone can go to Coursera and learn a course, if I can start a business on Fiverr, if I can use AI to build a business, that's the things that I'm passionate about. That's the things I'm going to do. I don't really need an education to get that going, So again, it depends on what you are interested in doing.
Very
it's
important.
Not like by force.
That is very important. Yes. So what would be your piece of advice for any young person who is contemplating? Should I go back to school, or should I invest the time in studying, like having a skill, starting a business, a trade, something? What would be your big sister advice to any young man, any young woman out there watching us who is contemplating?
Know your why.
Exactly.
Know why you want to do what you want to do. Know why you want to go get a Ph.D. Know why you want to go to nursing school. Know why you want to learn how to code. Just know your why. I think that when you know your why, it will direct your path, right? For me, I look back and I'm like, I never wanted to be a professor, but I fell in love with research, right? And with the things that I want to do, I want to impact the world in a certain way. The PhD will help me do that, right? And that is why I am in school. But for someone, right, they want to build a business and they just need to take some foundation in business courses, which they can do on Coursera, right? So they can just do that and go on and build a very successful business. And even as we talk about this, legit, like some of the most successful entrepreneurs that we have, like Mark Zuckerberg, I know everybody talks about him a lot. Doesn't really have a college degree. I don't know if he went back to get it, but I know that before he built Facebook, he was in college and then he stopped midway to go build Facebook. And look at how Facebook is now. Meta now is Meta, right? How Meta is now. So know your why. Know what you are interested in. That will really genuinely guide your path.
I think that is really impressive. At the end of the day, your why will determine the steps you take and the kind of journey you should take. It shouldn't be because, oh, everyone is doing this, I have to follow. Or because my mom is saying this, I should follow. At the end of the day, sit back, do a self-introspection. Ask yourself what you want to do. Why would I want to do this? Why would I want to take this career path? Is it something that I'm really interested in? Not because I feel like in Africa or in Ghana, where we are from, we are mostly influenced. Most of our decisions are influenced by our parents and what they think. You know how we have this whole perception about your parents know better, the elders know better. So at the end of the day, they tell you what to do, and it's more like, okay, my dad said I should do this. That's a clear example, right? When growing up, my dad has been a pharmacist all his life, right? And so we had a pharmacy shop in our house. So my dad, when he's not at work, like that was like another business on the side for him. And I used to be at the pharmacy shop with him so many times that I was able to now. When you come and you say, I could read prescriptions at some point. Yes,
that handwriting.
I tell you,
and my gosh.
And I was like at a very young age. That was even before senior high school. So people used to call me junior doctor. And then, so with that, persona, having that whole image growing up and everything, my mom was like, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, your dad is a pharmacist. You can elevate it and you can even be a doctor and everything. So you have to be a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I had no interest in science or anything of that sort. I think I learned on the job out of curiosity. I went to the pharmacy shop. I was listening to what my dad was saying, how he used to talk to people and everything, and I picked it up. But then that was not my interest. I enjoyed doing that, but that was not my interest. I love to draw. I love to paint. But my mom also never liked that, right? So the long and short of it all is sometimes we are forced, in quotes, to follow a career path that we are not so interested in, we are not so knowledgeable about, we don't really like it, but I'm doing it for my mom, let me just do it to please someone. But at the end of the day, you have to do it for yourself. I think that's a very important thing that we shouldn't lose sight of. We have to do it for ourselves. And that is why you can actually find true fulfillment in whatever you are doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I really like that example.
Yeah.
I really
Thank
do.
you.
And because like we talked a lot about PhD, I will use your example
Right.
in the light of a PhD. It's like trying to get a PhD just for the doctor title. I feel like you will quit along the way.
Right.
Like you really have to be passionate about it, about whatever research topic that you are investigating or trying to write for your dissertation. Because if you don't have the passion, you're going to quit along the way. And you will actually not be motivated to write.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I haven't done a PhD, but I can imagine. I mean, even on my master's journey, I think I can even attest to that. It's very true. So Ophelia, let me ask you this. So looking at your journey so far, right? Your academic journey, let me see. Your wins, your setbacks, your highs and lows and everything. If you had to restart the whole process again, right? I'm talking about just the PhD side of it. If you had to restart everything again, what would you do differently this time?
That is a difficult question.
I'm sorry.
It's a difficult question.
But then again, if you think it played out smoothly.
No, it didn't.
All right, so then what would you do differently this time?
Instead of worrying too much about whether I can make it through a class or not, I probably should have spent that energy trying to meet with classmates to talk through.
Right.
Because there were classmates of mine who really understood some of the courses, but I never really approached them to like help me out. So that's probably something that I would have done differently. But then again, too, I feel like because I went through those hardships and those roadblocks, I was able to gain resiliency. So, but then still, I would have asked for more help. I think that's the answer. Asking for more help.
Because I feel like you are in a PhD class or any class that you find yourself, you are surrounded with a lot of intelligent minds, great minds and everything. And then no man is an island. So I feel like your best resource is your classmate or your course mate.
Yep.
And there's no, I mean, in the university, one thing they say, or it's in the master's school, no answer is wrong. Yeah. Every idea is correct, right? So the best thing the least thing you can do is to ask for help. And asking for help never. And they say this thing about asking for help. The worst anyone can say is no. No. So you just got to ask. That's really true. That is beautiful. I would want you to give me your favorite life quote. Oh. A life quote that has changed how you think, how you see things, how you move. Your favorite life quote. I know there might be many of them. Yeah. But then which one would you say is your favorite? Oh my God. So when you ask really difficult questions, by the way. Really? I thought, all right. But then I'm enjoying this interview so far. I'm enjoying it too. Right. So my favorite, I think I would say is, fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. Right? Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. So this is what it means. Right. I think I should explain a little bit. I love to hear it. Okay. So whenever you are anxious and you are afraid of something, you think that thing is so far out of your reach and that you can never grasp it. You can never get that thing. So it's so far away from you. So that is why a mile wide. Right. But an inch deep means that once you determine to get that thing, right, and you put your leg like forward or in the water, you realize that it's not as deep as you thought. Right. Right? It's just an inch deep. Right. You just need to be focused. You just need to be determined and go after the thing that you want. And here I would chip in also the God factor. I think that throughout my academic journey and throughout my life journey, the constant has been God. Right. He's been there through it all. Though the seasons change, his love remains the same. And so not even looking at the problem, how big it is, how large or enormous it is, but also looking at God's power to help me throughout that. That can also explain that quote. That is, I think I resonate with what you just said, because even using my academic journey, my master's journey too, I was like, I have a good friend who was trying to encourage me to take this bold step. Yeah. I had expressed my willingness or my I mean, how I would love to do my master's degree.
Yeah.
And I sit back and I think about it again. I'm like, damn, 2 years.
Yes.
No, man, I can't. And besides, I'll have to travel out of the country. I felt I was quite okay back home, right? To travel to I call here no man's land.
Yeah.
For school for 2 years. No, I don't think I'll. So, but then again, he kept encouraging me. Hey, I mean, you have a lot of resources around. You have a lot of help around. It's not easy, but then it's worth it. It's always going to be worth it. Take the step. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just take the step.
Yeah.
Right? Let me just take the step. Let's see how it goes. Right. So initially it was like, go with the flow and let's see how it goes. But when I started the whole process, I mean, the whole journey, I would say it's not, I mean, always the starting is the hardest, right? Once you start, it's hard. But then I realized that once you put your mind, you focus attention and everything within you to the exact course that you are on. Yeah. I mean, help comes from places where you don't even expect. Yeah. People will come along. I mean, like I would say, I enjoyed this journey because of the beautiful people that I've met. Yeah. Right? Very loving professors, classmates, TAs, you know, a lot of people. And they've all contributed to making this journey way easier than I even thought. Yep. Because sitting back and looking at the problem like a mountain, you'll be wondering, how am I going to cross it? How am I going to get there? You know, how would I even get there to even cross it? But at the end of the day, once you take a step, every step of the way, you get closer and closer. Mm-hmm. So I think I really love that quote. I'm going to add it to my list of quotes That's good. I'm glad. That I have. I'm glad. Right? And you know, the thing you just said about, master's is a 2-year program. I was having a conversation with a friend and she wants to do a PhD, but she keeps thinking, oh my God, that would be 4 years, that would be 5 years. So I told her something my mom always tells me, whether you like it or not, the 5 years is going to come. Will you rather be like Annabelle, Mrs. Annabelle, or will you rather be Dr. Annabelle? Go for it. Yes, choose your hustle. And then she was like, Doctor, that sounds better. Wow, that is true. Yes. And I'm happy about it because in some few months I'll be graduating. I'm like, I just got in here and I'm almost graduating. That is like a dream come true. Something that I really never thought of, but I'm happy that God has also been faithful and good and kind to me along this journey and all of that. Right, Ophelia. So at this point of the interview, right? By the way, I'm enjoying this interview so far. Me too. I really love it. Yes. So at this point of the interview, I've been the host. I've been asking all the questions. Oh, great. Yeah. So we have this part called Flip the Mic. So Flip the Mic is when you get to ask me one question, just one question. Okay. Please be nice. Okay. It can be related to what we are doing now. We're talking about or anything outside what we are talking about. Okay. So please ask me one question. Okay. Wow. I get to be the host. Right. All right. So my question for you is, I'm really fascinated about what you're doing here. And so my question is, what motivated you to start this podcast? All right. See? Hard questions. He gets just one and he's sighing. Right. I'll try to make this as simple as possible. Right. But first of all, thanks for that question. So first of all, right, I never saw myself doing this podcast to begin with. It was never really part of what I wanted to do. I mean, I've always been a social media guy doing fitness, posting fitness here and there, fitness content. And it's always been, we'll go to the gym, record what you want to record and post it out there, whoever it helps. I mean, I've been more passionate about helping people. I used to be a personal trainer back home in Ghana. So I thought of maybe scaling it up, making it a business someday, but making this U-turn into podcast, interviewing people and all of that, it was never really part of the goal or the plan. But then again, I would say it just happened all of a sudden. So one time I was taking a shower, and usually when I'm taking a shower, I get all these ideas. And I used to post lifestyle content on my TikTok. Get ready with me, come and spend a day with me. When I used to have someone who follows me around in Ghana to record all these things. So it was quite easier for me. And I was like, okay. So like I was saying, I was taking a shower. I had this idea. I mean, use your platform to talk to people. People listen to you when you talk. And I knew what voice that was,
Yeah.
but I was trying to ignore it like Jonah. Like running away from it. But then I kept hearing it all the time. Talk to people, give value, like give more value. You can give more value and all of that. So then I also thought of, when you have an idea and then you think about where am I going to get, where am I going to start from? Where am I going to get cameras? Where am I going to do this? And, for me, I always say I wouldn't say so much of a perfectionist, but then I always want things to be in place before I do stuff.
Yeah.
So now I started asking the questions, okay, fine, if I'm going to do it, how am I even going to get a camera? How am I going to get this? I don't want to use my phone. I don't want to, all these excuses. But then I actually had that awakening. I'll call it awakening because one time I just sat back and I was like, a friend called me from Ghana and then we spoke extensively, like for about 45 to an hour. And he spoke and spoke and spoke and spoke. And I was like, okay. I heard him out and I was like, yeah, what about this? That I had a conversation. And after that, he was like, yo, bro, I'm really, really, really thankful for you coming in because I was really disturbed. I didn't know what to do, but you telling me this has really, really changed everything and how I was feeling. So then it goes back again. Then why don't I put this on a stage or on a level where I don't speak to just one person, but then I get to speak to, even if it's 5 people, even if it's 2 people who hear me at the time. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just take this step. And then I started and I set this page up, Brotherly Advice. It used to be Brotherly Advice series, now Brotherly Advice podcast. And I started, talking to people, being vulnerable, talking to I call it people's minds and souls, right? So that it gets to their inner core. And I realized that there are a lot of people who related with what I said. And long and short of it all is, it's been a short journey so far, but I'm loving every step of the way because sometimes when I get my DMs, my messages, people come in and they tell me about how watching their videos have transformed how they think, how they move and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, that is the goal. That has always been the goal. But at the end of the day, I wish I can take all the glory. I can't. It's always been God. God empowered me to do this, put this whole idea in my mind. And even though I was stubborn in the beginning, I took action and then it's been amazing. I mean, this studio, everything in here and everything, it's been people coming along to make sure everything. So like you said, once you take the step, the help you need, the encouragement you need, all the connections you need and everything will come in place. We'll all fall in line. But then if you sit back and you always talk about the problem and how am I going to do this, it's always going to stay the same. So to answer your question, I just love the fact that I could speak to people and they are going to listen, or they listen to me, and maybe a word or two helps solve or helps to calm people down. And that is why I actually started this whole Brotherly Advice podcast.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That
Thank you so
is
much.
really powerful. I love that. And I love that the center of it all is people, serving people and helping people.
Right.
There's this other quote that I really like.
Yeah.
It says, it goes like this. What do we live for if not to help others, right? Or if not to serve others?
Right.
So I love that for you. Thank you.
Right.
I'm glad you obeyed finally.
Oh my God. And it's I think I should even say, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't even obey earlier because I think I would have done way more. But then it's always better than never.
Yeah.
But then never late is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So we are almost done with the interview. Thank you so much for being here. But before we go, there's this last segment called This or That.
Oh, great.
Yes. This or That is when you get, I used to play this on my Instagram stories some years ago. I used to post that on my Instagram stories and a lot of people loved it. And I'm like, hey, if I have a podcast, I'm going to bring it again.
Okay.
So This or That, I just give you two characters or 2 options and then you choose one.
Okay.
No in between.
Okay.
All right. I'll try and make it as easy for you as possible. So the first one is speak your mind or keep your peace.
Keep my peace. For
Boring.
Sure. For sure. Keep my peace. I'm not even going to think twice.
Right.
Keep my peace.
All right. That was quite straightforward. All right. So the second one is be well known or stay low key.
Be well known.
Be well known.
Yeah.
Right.
For something good though.
Obviously. Obviously. All right. The next one is know your future or rewrite your past.
Know my future.
Why?
Gosh, the past is gone.
You wouldn't want to rewrite any
No.
part of your past. That is
The
good.
past is gone.
Right. All right. The next one is no internet for a day or no food for a day.
No internet for a day.
No internet for a day. Right.
I'm not like a very big social media person.
Right,
So
right.
I could live without internet for a day.
That makes it easy for you.
Yeah.
All right. This is quite funny, right? So laugh at a funeral, right?
Ooh,
Or cry at a wedding.
cry at a wedding. Cry at a wedding.
You don't want to laugh at anyone's
No,
funeral. Why
cry
not?
at a wedding.
Right. All right. So the next one, right,
Okay.
is $500,000 cash
Okay.
or dinner with your favorite celebrity.
Oh, dinner with my favorite celebrity.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I thought you was going to take the money.
No, that's just see, this is $500. It was like
No.
500,000.
500,000.
Oh,
not
you said 500,000.
No, $500.
Of course, 500,000. Yes, I thought you said $500.
So wait, let me ask again.
Okay.
$500,000.
Okay.
And I repeat, $500,000.
Okay.
Or dinner with your favorite celebrity.
$500,000.
Right. I don't think I'm even going to ask you why. Because now it's clearer now. Wait, okay, fine. That's fine. So the last but one.
Okay.
So this is also quite funny. So would you rather have your ex as a co-worker or your boss as a roommate?
My boss is a roommate.
I'm not even going to ask that. Right. Okay, then the last one is rent a house or buy a house?
Buy a house.
Buy a house.
Yeah. I would love to own a home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm not even going to ask. Everybody would love to own a home. Right?
Yeah.
There's a whole debate about the fact that, hey, you don't have to buy a house now. Hey, you don't have to. But at the end of the day, what works for you is what you should go for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Ophelia, thank you so much for
you.
being a part of the Brotherly Advice podcast. I really appreciate it. I mean, I know how busy you are,
No.
but then you came in here, you waited for everything to be set up and everything. And this interview has been really, really, really impactful. I've enjoyed every part of it, and I'm sure a lot of people watching us have also enjoyed it. But before you go, I have quite a number of books here on the lineup. I have Barack Obama's biography. I have Atomic Habits. I have Becoming Michelle Obama. I have Will Smith's biography as well. I have David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. Very interesting book. I have The Power of Now, The Alchemist, and I have Think and Grow Rich, The 4 Agreements, and Rich Dad Poor Dad, the popular Rich Dad Poor Dad. I want you to have one of these books as a gift from me to you for being on the Brotherly Advice podcast.
Thank you.
So yes, which one would you want to go for?
All right. Well, before I choose, I also wanted to thank you for the opportunity to be here and to speak to your amazing followers. Thank you all for listening and for tuning in. And I also wanted to end by saying that you also really inspire me, Solomon, with your journey and with the things that you do. You started this.
So me.
Yes. You started this LinkedIn thing where you post every day. You feel like 60 days.
60 days, yeah.
And you are going. You keep going. I was just like, wow, that is so impressive.
Thank you so much.
Your determination, your motivation is really inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Please keep up the good work.
I will. Yeah. I will. At this point, it's not even something that I can negotiate anymore. It's an assignment.
That's good.
And at this point, I just gotta go through it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to choose "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins.
That is wow. That is a really good book.
Thank you.
A really good book. "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there any reason why you chose this book?
I just really like David Goggins.
Right.
I think
he's such a personality.
Yes.
I think he's a retired U.S. Navy SEAL.
Yep.
Yeah. And he has a lot to. I think he has a lot to offer. I follow him on. I'm yet to read this book actually.
Okay.
but I'm glad to give it away, and I'm going to get a new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I was to choose the second one, I would choose The Alchemist. I've never read it.
The Alchemist?
Yes. I need to read it.
Oh my God, it's such a. I read it twice. Oh my God, it's
Wow.
such a lovely book. Would you want to have that too?
Yes.
All right, sure.
Yes,
So
I
then,
can.
all right,
Thank
you get to have 2 books. That
Thank
is
you
that
so
is nice.
much.
I'm happy to give these to you.
Thank
and
you.
it has a short message from Kwabna Efri Akoto Banfo and Tishana Thomas Akoto Banfo. With appreciation for your time, truth, and trust, the Brotherly Advice family is better because of you. May this book remind you of the lives you've touched today. Thank you.
Thank you.
So these books are for you.
Thank
you so
too.
much.
Thank you for the
being a part of
opportunity.
this. And I really, like I said, appreciate your presence here. And I know, and I'm happy. Like, let me just add this. I'm happy to have you here because I know, like I said, every guest of mine will be part of my bragging rights. Hey, that's Dr. Ophelia. I put him on she was on the Brotherly Advice podcast, So I just can't wait for that. And I wish you all the best in the journey.
You.
I know you are doing well. It's no surprise at all that you're doing well because obviously you have been my TA and I know what you are capable of, and I wish you all the best. I know you're doing well.
Thank you.
Exceedingly well, and the sky is there. It's the starting point of the limit.
The starting point.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Solomon. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm the best at it. Yeah, I'm the best at it. Yeah, I'm the best at it.